Yes.
Ma'am, I think there is some problem with your mic. Like we are receiving the like two or three voices.
Ma'am, now you won't get. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Now,
Now it's
now,
better. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There were two mics actually. That's why.
Huh,
Yeah.
huh. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Joel sir, can you please check the YouTube has connected or not? Please check the YouTube link.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes.
It's connected.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh,
YouTube connected.
okay. So shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. You can start with your session.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Dhruv sir, Pooja madam, and Rodmise sir. With the collaboration of OPEX and CIBIC, we are here to like having a small talk for IP for the startups and like on the occasion of World IP Day. We are celebrating World IP Day on 26 sorry on 26th of April. Today we have two dynamic personalities with us, those who are running my Crave consultancy and services, your creation or executions. So first of all, I want to give the small introduction about the company, and then we'll proceed ahead with the introduction of the two speakers. The MyCrave consultancy is a promoter of patent, copyright, and trademark, and has initiated the progressions of providing the service of filing of IPR at the lowest cost of India. The educational seminars conducted by the MyCrave team help to build and develop intellectual assets for the institutions and also for the individuals attending. The company's vision is to collaborate with all kinds of services provided to provide on one dial solutions to the customers for all their web solutions, intellectual and legal needs, and to achieve the Make in India concept by making each product indigenous with the help of intellectual property rights. Like what is MyCrave and what they are doing. The team of MyCrave promotes the importance of intellectual property rights IPR by conducting seminars, workshops, and even provides personal counseling to enlighten the innovator hidden in each individual. They help acquire a government license and provide them with an international platform to commercialize their creations. So right now they have worked and filing the 5,500 plus IPR filings, 850 plus novel ideas in profession, 4,500 plus happy clients, and 1,550 seminars and workshops all over the India and like other countries. 650 plus patent file, 3,500 plus trademark file, 750 plus copyright files, 1,500 plus barrier art done. Now come to the like those who are having and those who are running this. First of all, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Miss Pooja Menon. She is a CEO, COO of this company. She has completed her BTech Information Technology and Diploma in Intellectual Property Rights, additional certification in IPR form from RGNIIPM, and having industrial experience of 8 years. Now, the second speakers we have Mr. Dhruv, position of managing director in this company. Qualification he has done BTech Electronics and Communications, Diploma in Intellectual Property Rights, additional certification from IGN IIPM, having the industrial experience of 9 years. So this short and small introduction, whatever I have done, and I requesting our keynote speaker, Mr. Dodmise sir, to address our students and our faculty, those who are interested in startups, those who are want to start their startups, and those who are want to get the knowledge and what is exactly the IP. So I requesting Dodmise sir, please address the students and please let us know what is exactly the IP and why we are having this World IP Day on 26th of April. Thank you.
Okay, good morning all. Just I will share my slide. I have prepared only two slides. I will finish it within a time, whatever given by Pooja ma'am. Just a minute. So can you hear me properly, Pooja ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good morning, all of you, my dear friends, and today's guest. There are two Pooja Menon, and our Pooja from OPEX. Dhruv sir, who is a great leader for from IP Grave. Basically, you people are very younger than us, and I like your passion and innovation working towards the IP. And with short notice, you have prepared yourself to talk with on IP Day on this occasion of World IP Intellectual Property Day 2021. So thank you so much, Pooja ma'am and Dhruv. Basically, Pooja is connected to me from last 2 years, but we couldn't go for doing lot many filing the IPRs, but we could able to file two, three. I think I know it very well. But from today, we are going to work together to go ahead for filing the IPs from our side as well as the area specific in our 4 to 5 district places. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much IP OPEX team, Sachin Kumboje sir and his team. So I am very much happy to give some keynote address for today's webinar on World Intellectual Property Day 2021. So today is the 26th of April, Monday. So it's a great day for the innovators. It's a great day for the people who are going to do the innovation in their life, in the product, in terms of showcasing the product which can be commercialized in the market. So very, very important day today, where we are going to protect the IPs. The person who want to protect his innovation, protect his IP, this is a great day for them to start with giving the keynote for this IP Day. So I'm very much happy. So what we can say, the 2021 is going for taking the ideas to market. So that is IP and SMEs. So by taking the use of SMEs and by filing the IPs, we are going to take this year as taking your ideas to market. So just file the IPs and take your ideas to market, means commercialize it in the market. So SMEs are the engines. You can say the SMEs are going to take care of the IPs. Actually, these are the major heroes in the India, you can say. So SMEs are the engines, the unsung heroes of our economy. So SMEs are going to help us not only by living, but not only the employment generation, but they are going to help to increase the economy of our Indian country. So that is very important. So SMEs are going to play the role, and really we are fitting into the SMEs to help the India to be a developed country in future. So that is the main thing I want to say. Just on the occasion of this day, I want to tell you the 3 principles which are very much important in entrepreneurship, which I try to follow, and I also got the result into this key principles. The first principle I can say, time is not most valuable asset. So today we are saying that time is most valuable asset, but I can say your focus is most valuable asset. Whether you are going to focus it in time or on time or off time, it doesn't matter. Focus on your innovation is very, very important asset for your life. And if you focus on your innovation, that will become asset, and that during that the time will follow to your innovation. That is very important. So next principle I can say, systems work, people fail. Even if there are lot many failure in the people, whatever they have developed, but at the system case, you can say the system always works in the right way, right time, and right direction. So drop the ego that I am a great man, I'm a great person in this world, I can do lot many things, I can work out for this. So drop this ego, just you remove E and go ahead for doing your innovation and focus on the implementation. So how your innovation can be converted into commercial product and how you are going to sell into the market, and I can say end, where is the end? When you are going to take the money in your pocket after selling the product, that is the end of the cycle. So system works and people fail. So drop the ego and focus on the implementation. Definitely you are going to commercialize your product in the market with very less time. As I told you, give the value to the implementation. So third one is, don't be cheap on the journey towards the greatness. काही लोकांना so don't think that I am a cheap. You are a greatest person in the world and you are a greatest person to do the innovation. Every person can have a greatness in the innovation towards the entrepreneurship. The basic gap is the skill. So try to have a proper mentor in your life so that there will be a less mistakes which will happen in towards the journey of entrepreneurship. That is very, very important. Invest on yourself. Somewhere if there is a gap in understanding, if there is a gap in understanding process of the entrepreneurship, understanding the process of product ideation to product commercialization, try to add mentors in your life. Try to invest for yourself. Try to add the money for investment as for getting a lot many knowledge from this world, and try to add values in the people. If you try to add values in the people, people will work for you as the systems work for you. So that is very, very important. These are the three key principles which are very valuable, which are very important for everybody's life who are going to become a future entrepreneurs. So final message I can say, consistently follow these three steps to improve the productivity. Definitely you will be a topmost entrepreneur in this world. You will be topmost innovator in the world. You will be the topmost IP survival in this world. IP capture person in this world, that I want to tell you. And thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. Once again, I want to thankful to Pooja Menon and Dhruv sir. Really, you are the youngest people who are going to help the future entrepreneur to protect their IP and protect their value, protect their innovation. We proud of you. Thank you so much. So I will hand over to Pooja ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I requesting to Pooja ma'am, our first speaker, to address our students and faculty members, those who have joined us on YouTube. Because of the limitations of the Zoom, that's why we have given them the YouTube link. So please, now you can start your session and address the students. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I just wish to share my the presentation, so I can continue ahead.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to all. Very happy IP Day. It is necessary to wish, because if you are present in this session, that means you have already understood that there is an importance to IPR. So in today's session, we'll be introducing you to different terms in IPR, the importance of IPR, and how you as an individual can file yourself, and how it can benefit you as an individual, as an institute, as a company, as a whole. Okay. So moving ahead to this session. Basically, there are two types of property. One is called the physical property, other is called the intellectual property. Now, physical property we all are very well aware of. Like, for example, if you ask somebody, what do you have? As an individual, what do you have? So people will start making you count their physical property. Like, I have a house, I have land, maybe a car, gold. These things are usually your physical property, which every kid is told and made understood since a very young age. If you ask somebody, how do you buy a physical property, anyone can tell you that it is, you have to earn a lot of money and you have to do a lot of hard work to earn money so you can buy physical property, which is a very important asset in today's world. We are taught that you have to protect your physical property in any form. Like, for example, if you decide to buy a house, the first thing that you'll do it, get it registered under government, because it is very much important that your physical property is protected and it is called in your name. Now, suppose I come for a cup of coffee and I loved your place, and I'm like, let's do one thing. Everyone living at this place right now, please leave. From today on, this is my house. I will be living in this place. Can I do that? Actually, no. You can actually take a stick and actually drive me out of your house, because there is a government proof that the house is yours. Right? Now, let's talk about your creativity, ideas, innovations, method. Now, suppose you're working on a project and suddenly you have a eureka moment. You suddenly realize that, oh my God, this is something unique. Nobody has thought about. I have to do something about it. Now, when you get a thought, I have to do something about it, what is a normal human's mentality? The first thing that I have experienced is that people like to discuss it, or want to talk about it with their friends, colleagues, or somebody equally intellectually competent to that person, because it is very important as an individual to be assured that your idea is unique. Nobody has yet discussed about it. You want assurity from somebody else. Now, when you decide to discuss this concept with multiple people or with your friend or your colleague, the part we forget is that everyone is looking for an opportunity to be famous or to get credibility. Now, what if the person you shared with decide to write a paper on it and publish it as his own work? Now, what rights do you have to prove that this idea came to you first and you are the actual owner or the person who got this idea? Basically, right now, nothing. So what will happen is, the thing that you worked on for such a long time, you lose every right over it in just few seconds, because you have not protected it as you had protected any of your physical property. So such circumstances should not happen in your life. When we talk about your ideas, creativity, creations, method, everything requires a government security, and that is provided to you by IPR, intellectual property rights. All the assets that you create in your brain, in your head, in your mind, that is your intellectual property, and it may not be a physical product at the moment. It's just a thought, but you want to protect it. You can do it using IPR. There are 4 different categorizations of work, that is patent, copyright, trademark, and design. These 4 categories of services protect different things. In today's session, we'll be learning what patent, copyright, trademark, and design protect, what can we file as an individual, and what are the things included under it. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please drop it into the chat box. Towards the end of the session, we'll be having an entire Q&A round, and the entire session is being monitored by all our experts available in the session. So if you have any doubt, please put it in the chat box, or towards the end, we can have a personal Q&A. Okay, so moving on. The first topic that we are discussing is copyrights. Copyrights is very simple. Copyrights क्या कहता है कि if you have any artistic work, that means see, all of us may not be interested into academics or calculations or data analysis and all such things, which usually which everyone does, right? So many of you may have different skills, like you may be a good photographer, painter, dancer. Some of us would be great software coders. You love to write books. So all these things which are done and in an artistic perspective is protected under copyright. Now, many of you may have a question that why do artistic work need protection? Like, if I do a painting or if I love to photograph, it is an hobby for me. It's true, but the thing that we forget is that there is a large population in this world which earn from their artistic work. There are great musicians, photographers, dancers, choreographers, software designers who actually earn from their artistic work. So that is why it is protected under government using copyrights. Now, the other question that arises is, now this is a world of social media, right? Now, if I took a picture, or maybe I drafted a blog, or I made a presentation, I'll publish it online and people will come to know that the work was mine. Then why should I again file a copyright for it? True. See, when you publish a work, it definitely informs others that this work was created by you. But remember, when you want to take a legal action, it won't be helpful. Why? When you publish a work, the timestamp which is shown on any of the private sites actually portrays the date of publication. That means the date on which the work came into public. It still does not prove the date of creation of the work. Okay, understand, the date of publication and date of creation are different. It is like the date on which you were born and the date on which your parents showed you off. Both are different. So it's the same way. Now, understand the importance. Suppose you wrote a very beautiful blog, you created few images for it on a professional software, and you published your work. Now, see, when you publish your work, it is not just your what do you call it, your friends or relatives who are able to access your data. There are multinational companies involved who can actually access your data. Like, for example, if you published your work, there are companies like Microsoft, Facebook, everyone is online these days. Now imagine Microsoft loved the way in which you have arranged your diagrams in the presentation, and they loved few portions of your blog, and they decide to use that for their benefit. They used your portions of images which you had professionally designed in your software. Now, Bill Gates is not your friend that you can pick up a call and like, hey, Billy, you used my work. Now you are liable to pay me ₹1,00,000 for my work. They are not even going to listen to you because you have no rights that the work was yours. So the only document which can provide you with a timestamp for the date of creation, for the ownership of the work is copyright. Copyright is basically a 10 minutes procedure which you can do online to actually gain rights on your work. Okay. So that is why it is important. Now let's understand with an example how copyright protection can actually help you to stop big companies, big powerful people. So here on the screen, you can see two images. This was the time when Obama sir was fighting to be the president of USA. Okay, now during this time, what happened was one of the press photographer clicked one of the images that you can see on your left hand side. The plain photograph that you can see was clicked by a press photographer. Okay, now he took that picture to his agency, and the press media there, the company decided to modify that beautiful photographs into a red blue combination, which you can see on the right hand side. Now, what happened was it was election time. So the advertising agency who was provided with the responsibility of campaigns and posters and banners of Obama sir wanted to create a more impactful photograph which can actually help to get more votes. So somebody suggested that we should actually use Obama sir's face because he has an honest face. So it can create more impact so that people can vote for him. Okay, suggestion was very, very well appreciated, but the marketing agency who was given the responsibility, see, lazy people do not, there is no lack of lazy people. So what happened was they were surfing through the internet and they found a very beautiful red and blue image that you can see on the right hand side. So they decided to use that image for their work, for their banners. The only hard work they did was they wrote the title Hope under it. Understood. So what they did, they used the same image, just wrote the word hope and printed banners and printed it across entire USA. There were multiple banners posted across USA. This press agency who had actually created the image came to know about it. So one of the members from the press media walked into the council office and he's like, sir, I'm from the media and I want to discuss regarding the new posters and banners that you have printed across USA. Because it was election time, it's a huge thing because every politician wants media attention, right? So one of the council members walked towards him. He's like, oh yeah, let's talk in my cabin. They started talking, and the media guy was like, sir, the new banners that you have printed across USA, we want you to remove it right now. The guy who was listening to him was a bit confused. He's like, are you drunk in the morning? Do you know what you're asking for? Like, do you know where you're standing? The press media guy was very calm. He was like, sir, the image that you have used has been created by my company. We own the rights over it. And you, without giving us any credibility, even asking us the permission to use it, have misused our work. And now we demand you to remove it right now. See, it was not a big agenda, but they are politicians. They were very strong about it. So the media guy said that if you don't do that, I'm going to go into the media and I'm going to tell people that the person who wants to be the president of USA is not even letting us use our minor copyrights. What if tomorrow he becomes the president and decide to take away all our rights? See, this was not a big agenda, but these media people can bring in a lot of heat into the election, and the opposition party can gain advantage out of it. So the person who was talking to him, the media guy, was a bit smart. So he understood what the problem was. See, he started like, sir, look, we understand that your work was brilliant and we have used it. But see, we cannot remove the banners right now. You know, it is kind of our prestige issue. And we know that you are media and your stomach might ache if you don't go out and scream what has happened. But till the elections are over, we'll ask you to keep your mouth shut. So tell me, what will it take to keep your mouth shut? So the guy was offered a huge amount as compensation to keep their mouth shut. See, the amount was never disclosed, but till the election, nothing came out. And after election, even when these news came out, nobody cared. So that is the power of copyright. If you have copyright, you can actually stop some big politicians along with industries and companies. So that is the importance of copyright. Okay. Now, we'll take few case studies. Some are very funny and some are quite interesting. And we should understand because many of you might be the next entrepreneurs of India. So you have to understand that copyright infringement is a big problem. See, why do we face infringement is because there are a lot of myth that surrounds the work. First of all, anything that is public on public platform like even Google is not free of cost and not against copyrights. That means if you find any work online, it does not mean it's free और आप बिंदास यूज कर लो. ऐसा आप कह नहीं सकते अरे ऑनलाइन था तो मैंने यूज कर लिया. No, any presentation is just for you to refer through, not to copy it. Second, people अरे वो image available था मैंने जरा सा modify कर दिया, so it's okay. When you talk about copyright work, there is no zara sa modify. It's not allowed. So the best part is the Mona Lisa painting. If I draw two mustache on it, I cannot say it's a unique thing and I can use it. No, anything available on a public platform is not public to be used. And you cannot make a minor modification and say, hey, look, now it's a different thing, so I can use it. No, there can be serious consequences. Now, this is one of a very interesting case studies. See, this can rarely happen in India, but because it happened somewhere, so it is necessary that I actually, just put it in front of you. So there was a photographer who used to, click images of animals from in wildlife reserves and all such things. What happened was he was visiting one of the wildlife reserves and he clicked few of the selfie expressional image of a chimpanzee. Okay, now what happened was while he was clicking those images, this came in front of you all are aware of the the organization called PETA, right? They work for the animal rights protection. So these images came into their notice, and because it was clicked in a wildlife reserve, it means that you tried to infringe the privacy of an animal, and they started fighting a case in court. They said that this person actually interfered into the privacy of a wildlife preserve, took selfie images of an animal, and now he's selling it for his own benefit. That is not correct. It's very difficult to fight with PETA. See, these things can happen in USA. In India, we are very liberal about such things. जहाँ पे ऐसा लिखा होगा, प्लीज जानवरों को मत खिलाइए, जानवरों को खिलाना मना है, we'll actually bring food and try. होता क्या है देखते हैं. We are such kind. So, but in USA and in all the different countries, the animal rights protection people act very, very strict about such actions. So this guy lost the case, and he decided to give 25% of his earning to the wildlife preserve as a as a compensation for all the infringement that has been caused. So these things happen whenever you decide to use images or photographs of actors and actresses. You're actually infringing the privacy if they have not allowed to to use those such images. Okay, so this is something important as an example which we all need to understand. See, many of you might be into the business of mobile application development, software businesses, many such things. We need to understand that copyright filing actually protects your right internationally. If you file a copyright for a song, for a software, for a code, it actually gives you international right to fight internationally. So we need to be very careful where you decide to copy from. Now, here is an example of a company called Epic System. They are a software developing company in US, and they had developed a software in for hospital chains in USA. Okay, now what happened was they hired TCS from India for the maintenance work of their software. Many companies do that. After the softwares are once installed, they hire Indian companies for the maintenance work. Whenever a third party company is involved, like suppose if somebody decides to hire you for some of the maintenance work or any database management, they will actually sign a confidentiality agreement with you. Now, what does that confidentiality agreement say? It states that we will be sharing our client data, our confidential information, databases, algorithms, codings with you. You are only required to use it for the purpose of business that is being conducted between us. That means if it is only for the maintenance purpose, you will just do that. No copying, no use, misuse, or breach of the data is allowed. In case such thing happen, you will be liable of serious consequences. This is a general confidentiality agreement which is signed by every company who is working together. Now, what happened was this confidentiality agreement was signed by the management level people. The person who came to work with Epic Systems software was the normal employee of the company. The employee was not aware of the confidentiality agreement. So what happened was when he decided to come and work with Epic System, he loved the software, he loved the way algorithm was working, he understood the database management. He came back to India and decided to develop a similar software for the hospital chains here in India and called it MedMantra. When they disclosed the software, when they started installing the software into different hospital chains, Epic Systems came to know about it. They slapped the company with a compensation of $940 million. So just understand, the infringement, the confidentiality agreement was actually signed by the employees of the company. The management level people are still the employees. The work was done by the employee. The software was created and sold by the employees. But at the end, the person who had to compensate for the infringement was TCS, because the confidentiality agreement was signed between Epic System and TCS. So now you need to understand that if you decide to work for a company or you want to start your own company, please do not misuse any other party's work. Until and unless it is disclosed or stated that it is free of cost to use, please do not use it without their permission. Otherwise, you will get caught into infringement, which can cost you much more than your company is currently earning. So please be careful. Okay, but as a student or as a faculty, if you are a student, still you're learning, if you are a teaching faculty and you're just educating students, you can use any of the work available online just for the teaching purposes or just for the learning benefit. You can do that. As per government, the teachers and the media people are allowed to use any of the data for the teaching and making other people know about it. That is okay. But as soon as there is a commercial aspect linked to whatever you're doing, the entire thing will fall under infringement. So please be careful how you're using the work that is available online. Okay, so we have just sorted out a few Q&A, which is generally asked by students, faculties, industries. This will help you to understand copyright better. Okay, so we have just jumbled out few questions which will actually help you to understand copyright. So the first question is, what does copyright actually protect? So copyright does not protect an idea. It just helps to protect the expression, the method the way in which a work has been described. Like for example, if you have referred different books of a same subject, you will find that the same content is being written in different book, but in a different way. So when there is a different way of writing, then it is protected by the copyright. So copyright is just protecting the expression. Like for example, there are many painters who have painted sceneries, right? So there will be a sun, plants, river, and mountains. So there is no restriction in the idea. The restriction is in the method in which it is presented. Okay, so it protects the expression. So when you talk about copyright, it does not protect anything logical, no ideas, method, mechanism. It just protects the expression, which does not have a logic. It's something that an artist feels and he decides to portray it. So that is protected under copyright. Okay. Where can I file application for registration of copyright of work? So where do you actually file a copyright? See, copyright is an online procedure which is filed with the Delhi Registry of Copyright. There is only one registry in India, that is in Delhi, that is Copyright Registry. There is no individual organizations like कोई municipality office या कोई high court, ऐसी कोई जगह नहीं है जहाँ पे आप copyright file करते हैं. There is just one office in India and the filing procedure is done online. There is an official government website, that is copyright.gov.in. That is where the entire registrations takes place. Okay. How long I have to wait to get my work registered? Now, after you have applied for your work, how much time does it take to get an application registered? So basically, there is a 30 days waiting period after your work has been submitted at the registry. There is a 30 days waiting period for the government to perform the examination procedure. And after the examination is completed, if there is no query raised, the government will issue the certificate which will be provided to you. So you can almost assume 30 to 45 days for the entire procedure. In serious circumstances like pandemic, there can be a difference in the date, but by approx, if you go into the copyright website, they usually state 30 to 45 days. Okay, to get a registered certificate for your copyright. Okay, what is the term of copyright? That means once I have copyright, till what term can I enjoy my rights on it? This is very interesting because copyright provides the right for 60 years after the death of the author. That means there is a person who has created the work and till he's alive, the copyright is active. And once he died, for 60 years after his death, the work will be only private to his family members. The best example is Michael Jackson. We all know the legendary singer and dancer. His family still enjoys the royalty of $80 million per year because of all the copyrighted work he has done, all the IPR work he has done. Okay. Does the copyright require any renewal? That means once you have filed, to keep it active till 60 years after the death, does any require? No. Actually, there is no renewal required. You have filed the copyright once, it is protected till the author is alive, and once 60 years after the death of the author. Or author, not the applicant, not the owner, the author of the author is alive or died. Okay. Okay, so I hope copyright is clear. All the artistic work, your presentations, your papers, blogs, everything that you present is protected under copyright. Now, just one more thing before we move on to the next topic. Many of you may be faculties, many of you may be enjoying the paper publications. So when you actually get in touch with different paper publication agencies, there is a confidentiality, there is an agreement which is signed between you and the publication house. You might have experienced they send you a one-page paper. You have to just sign and send it back to them. How many of you have very carefully read it? Or you are maybe a designer, you actually create logos and symbols and upload it into different private sites to earn money. How many of you have ever read the terms and conditions? Actually, we all have got so tuned in to the routine that we do not care about the terms and conditions. If somebody asks, I agree? Yeah, I agree. Why do I read? The entire world is doing. If you want to install a software, I agree. We never are even interested to look into the terms and conditions. Now, when a publication house issues that one-page paper to you to sign, there is a IPR clause which states that the work that you're submitting to the publication agency is now on the rights of the publication agency. We own the right to use, misuse, recreate it as per our benefit, and you cannot claim any rights over it. So what happened? Let's understand what the term states in terms of a physical property. Now, suppose you have a beautiful house and you want to rent it out for a few years. So instead of signing a rent agreement, you decide to sign a transfer agreement, and that too free of cost. Will you ever be so careless about your physical property? No. But when it comes to the matter of your intellectual property, you took so many months or weeks or maybe year to write that paper, to get that research done. And when it was a time of publication, instead of giving only publication rights, you actually decided to give your entire copyright of the work to the agency. It's because we were not careful about what we are signing. So from next time, file a copyright first and give the agency the right only to publish the work, to use it as a publication. See, when they want to file a copyright or they want to refile the copyright, they can actually file it as a publisher. It is allowed to them. So they cannot take the ownership from you. They can only take the publication rights from you. Okay. So I hope copyright is clear. So moving on, the next topic is trademark. See, if you have any doubts regarding copyright filing, please put it into the chat box so we can address it towards the end of the session. Okay, so the next topic that we are discussing is trademark filing. Trademark helps to protect a brand identity. Now, many of you will be starting your own company, as Suryakant sir was discussing about entrepreneurship and establishing your own company, Startup India. So this is one of the things that you will be concerned as soon as you start your business. That is trademark filing. Trademark helps to protect a brand identity. Now, suppose you decide to start a company or you decide to buy a product or something. How do you recognize that the product is authentic or it's novel or it's good? Or how do you recognize a product? Usually using its name, logos, symbols, jingles, taglines. These things actually provide a product with an identity. Like suppose I'm very hungry and I'm driving and suddenly I find a capital yellow M. From a distance, I can identify that it is McDonald's, right? And I'll prefer eating it at that food chain because I know that it is a food chain. It's quite trusted by multiple people. So that yellow M is protected by McDonald's such that it creates an identity of the food chain. Similarly, if suppose I'm wearing a plain black t-shirt and there is a small tick mark on it, immediately I'll recognize it as Nike. So every brand, whenever they decide to create a logo, a symbol, a jingle, or anything that helps to realize or recognize that product, it will be protected under trademark. That is why in multiple products, you would have seen the symbol TM or R. Towards the end of the session, we'll be discussing the difference between TM and R. But just understand, if you find TM and R on any product, it means it has been applied under trademark and it is government protected. So if you decide to use, copy or misuse the same logo or the name, it can create huge violations. Okay. There are a few more interesting things that are protected under trademark. Like for example, sound, smell, dialogue, voice, three-dimensional designs. These things are also protected under trademark. Understand why. Suppose I decide to buy a perfume. Okay, and apart from the brand name, I'll definitely be testing the smell, that how good the perfume smells on my hand or on me. Right? So every perfume manufacturing company, whenever they decide to launch a new smell into the market, they'll see to it that the smell is protected so that the competitor company do not use the same smell. Obviously, because the identity of the entire perfume is of its smell. So it is important that the smell is protected. Okay, when we talk about voice or sound, the best example which comes to mind is when we were kids, we used to watch Tom and Jerry. Even now, if it comes on TV, I'll be sitting in front of it and watching like a kid. Do you know when it starts, there is a sound of a lion roaring. And that sound is still so nostalgic that even if you hear it somewhere else, you'll just look around to see whether if somebody is playing Tom and Jerry. Right? So that sound is even trademark protected by Walt Disney. every cartoon character that you see around you is being trademark protected. Now, you should have the question that every cartoon character is an artistic work. Then why is it not protected under copyright, and why it is protected under trademark? You should have that question. Now, understand, whenever I decide to create an artistic work, a cartoon character, it will for the first time fall under copyright because it's an artistic work. But as soon as these characters starts getting linked to a product, it will be categorized under trademark. Understand? When you have small kids at your place and who watches cartoon, they will soon start asking you products which are related to their favorite cartoon. Like, because I have a very young cousin and he's like, मुझे छोटा भीम वाले ही cycles चाहिए, right? I have a cousin who wants मेरी Barbie doll वाली cycle. So every cartoon character starts getting printed on different products. So there is a character merchandising law which comes into picture. Now, what is that? Whenever any manufacturer decides to print cartoon characters on different products like bed sheets, water bottles, tiffin box, t-shirts, they pay a royalty amount to the creator of the artistic work. And that royalty amount, although the manufacturer has paid it, but obviously he's not paying it from his own pocket. That amount is added to the selling price of the product, and we as customers are paying that royalty amount for every cartoon character based products we buy. Okay, so that is why the official merchandise product are a bit more expensive than the regular product which does not have cartoon character. Okay, so every cartoon character, as soon as they come into picture with a product, it will fall under trademark. And we have seen a lot. So we have seen a lot of infringements happening. The best example is few weeks back, we had a client who wanted to trademark a name Aquaman. Now, the people who are fans of superheroes here, you will already know that the company DC owns the right on the brand name Aquaman, right? They have a action figure that has the brand name. Now, the guy wanted to trademark the name Aquaman into the class of chemical manufacturing. He had nothing to do with the cartoons, but he wanted to manufacture chemicals from that name. He got a letter directly from the DC claiming to stop the use of that name. So now you understand how important each and every brand name is. Okay, you cannot decide to use a brand name because it is not related to the category of goods they are selling. No. Even if you decide to sell it for something, but if the brand name is famous and prominent, they can actually file a trademark infringement against you. Okay. These are few of the famous Indian trademarks. That is Amitabh Bachchanji's voice. You cannot mimic his voice for commercial purposes. If you want to sell some product, you cannot use his voice. His voice has been protected under trademark. Similarly, Sunny Deol has his voice protected under trademark. Now, few celebrities like cricketers and actors have rights to protect their own name. Like, for example, Sachin Tendulkar has his own name protected. Namo, Narendra Modi has his first two initials protected. Shah Rukh Khan has his initial SRK protected. Now, can you tell me, can I trademark my own name? Can I trademark Pooja Menon? What is the difference between me and them? I know many of you will be thinking that they are famous. They are known. Correct. They are a brand in themselves. Now, suppose if Sachin Tendulkar comes to your home with a water purifier and he's like, look, I have started a water purifying company and this is very good. Buy it. You won't even think twice because it is Sachin Tendulkar who is saying it. So people trust him. There is a trust and authenticity related to his name. He's a legend, right? Now, suppose I bring the same water purifier to your place and I'm like, look, sir, this is a very good water purifier. Buy it. You will actually maybe slam the door on my face and say, like, nahi chahiye. Because I will look like a saleswoman to you. So the people like them are already a brand identity, and that is why they are called brand ambassadors, right? So their name can be protected. But what can I as an individual protect? As we started this session, we have already informed that if you decide to manufacture a company, a product, start your own company, write a book, start a blogging site, open a website, a mobile application, all the names of these things can be trademark protected. That means if you write a book, the content of the book is copyrighted, but the name of the book will be protected under trademark. Okay. Now, if you decide to file for a trademark, please be careful that these brand names are not infringing any of the existing brand. So how to do that? ipindia.nic.in is the official trademark, official IP site of India. You can actually validate whether the name you want to file for trademark, does this exist already or not. So once you file the trademark, immediately on that day, your brand name comes online. So anybody else, if decides to file for the same name, he can validate and then file. If it already exists, the government will throw the application out. Okay, so understanding the difference between TM and R. When you apply for a trademark application, the government allows you to put the symbol TM. That means temporary mark. It helps others to identify that the brand name has been applied for trademark and it is being right now processed under trademark. And once the government accepts and provides you that, okay, you are the only sole authenticated person in entire India to use the brand name, then the TM gets converted into R. Let's understand it in the general person's perspective. Suppose you get engaged to a person. Okay, आपकी engagement हो जाती है किसी के साथ. It is like a TM stage, जहाँ पे आप दूसरों को flaunt कर सकते हैं कि look, this is my partner, this is my partner. But there is still not 100% surety that it might turn into a marriage. There is a possibility that things might break, right? But once you're married, it's like R. It is full and final, and then you can actually protect that person from nobody else, from anybody else. So that is the stage. When you are in an engagement stage, it's like TM. You can flaunt others that this brand name is yours, but still the government legal protection will only be provided to you once you're married. That is once you get an R. Okay. So I hope trademark is quite clear. If there is any doubt, please put it into the chat box so we can address it towards the end of the session. Okay. So now we'll move on to the important topic, that is patent filing. So copyright, when we discussed, we understood that whenever anything creative happens, that is, which does not have a logic. Now I decide to paint sun pink. It is my perspective. It's an artist's view. I can do that. So there is no restriction on it. That is non-logical work. It is protected under copyright. It's an expression. Okay. But when we talk about patent, it helps to secure everything that has a logic. It's a product. It can be converted into a product. It has a method, a mechanism, working. All such things are protected under patent. Now, patent, whenever you decide to file for a patent, there are two important questions that needs to be addressed. One, why you want to invent? Why is this product important? And second, how is it going to work? If you have the answer to these both questions, you can actually file for a patent. Okay. Now, there are three categorizations when we are talking about patent. One is utility, second is design, and third is genomically engineered plant. Now, utility and design, it's very simple to understand. When you talk about plant, it comprises permissions. It requires sample to be submitted such that the entire data can be verified. So this is related to utility patent. So understanding that, the only difference between utility patent and genomically engineered plant is that whenever you decide to file for a patent or a utility or a design, you do not require prototype or the product for filing of patent. See, understand, patent is filed at a stage where you have an idea, a concept, and you want to discuss it with multiple people without the idea getting copied. So you're still not sure how the product is going to work, but you have a concept in your mind, you want to protect it. That is when a patent is filed. So patent does not require a prototype at the time of filing. No, government is not going to ask you for a prototype. So that is the best part about patent filing. But when we talk about genomically engineered plants, that means you are working on the DNA or hybridization, then the sample is requested. That is the difference between the technical utility patent and the genomically engineered plant patent. Okay, so we can keep the plant patent aside. That is because understanding utility and design is much more of importance at this stage. Now, let's understand the difference between utility and design patent. Now, suppose I have this cup with me, mug, cup, whatever you call it. There are multiple companies who are manufacturing cups, right? Now, what is the use of it? Basically, it's just used to drink any type of beverage, hot or cold, that you want. There are different companies which manufacture these things, and there is no difference in the utilization working of the system of a cup. But the design changes for every company who wants to create an impression might change the design of the cup. When only the design structure of a product is changed, it is called a design patent. It can be protected under design patent when I'm only changing the design structure of a product. But now, suppose I'm a very lazy person and I decided to add few engineering into it. How? Suppose I hate, to get up in the morning and just to mix all the things. So what I decide is I pour a cup of hot milk, a tablespoon of sugar, and a tablespoon of coffee powder into it. And now I have a switch. I'll press the switch and it will auto stir the entire content and provide me with a fresh, hot, frothy coffee. So, or else I have a timer set. Now I like to drink my coffee cold. So what I'll do is I'll fill in all the content. I'll put it in the fridge. I'll schedule it, and I'll say that I'll schedule it morning 6 a.m. So once I get up in the morning, the coffee is automatically start stirring and prepare a coffee and provide it to me. And apart from that, there is a plate which is attached at the bottom of the cup, and it will maintain the temperature of the cup. So imagine if I have poured in hot coffee, the temperature will maintain hot for half an hour, and I can sip a hot cup of coffee for half an hour. Such great things. So when I decide to enhance the property or the method of a instrument, I will file for a utility patent, because in case of utility, I have to describe the component, working, process, principles, all involved in the working of the system. But when I decide to file for a design, the only thing I require is 7-view photograph. That is how my cup looks from all the angles, and I can file for a design patent. It's that simple. But you can even file a utility and design for a single product. If you have a cup, as we discussed, if you have a self-stirring cup, the working can be protected under utility, and the design that you have made can be protected under design patent. Okay. Now, this is one of the important parameters, because whenever I decide to address a crowd, the first question is, हम क्या-क्या चीजें patent करा सकते हैं? Okay, we understood inventions and method, but is there anything specific that you cannot patent? There is. As per the government law, there are few things that cannot be patented in India. See, the non-patentability clause changes from country to country. So these things are not to be patented in India. Okay. So before we move on to non-patentability, you have to understand that there is a difference between discovery and invention. Discovery means something that already existed and you just found it. Okay, you went hunting and you found a different form of plant, and now it's a discovery. You found it, so it's a discovery. You did not do anything to make the plant grow, so it's not your creation. But what does invention mean is that you decide to make something from the scratch. You gave you gave birth to that instrument or a method or a process, and that is called an invention. So discoveries cannot be patented in India. Okay, actually discoveries cannot be patented anywhere in the world because it is already something that existed. Invention is something that you created and you want to claim your rights on it. Okay, so as per the government, discovery of a scientific principle or formulation of an abstract theory cannot be patented. The very good example is law of gravity. Okay, we all know that the gravity already existed. Newton just derived it. He informed to the world that there is some force towards which all the product on this earth is getting attracted to. Right. So Newton gave it his own name, the Newton's law of gravity, but he cannot say, okay, look, gravity has been, discovered by me. No, nobody uses it. He cannot do that, right? So that is why it is called a discovery, and such things cannot be patented. Formulation of an abstract theory. See, we all talk about time travel. There are a lot of things that is still a theory. People have not been able to prove it. So until and unless it is not proven into a system or a product, it is an abstract theory and it cannot be patented. Okay. discovery of any living thing or non-living substances. As I told you, discovery can be of a living thing, an animal, a fish, a plant, or a non-living thing, or a non-living thing like a plant, maybe diamonds, graphites, any of the ore that is found on this earth can be a non-living thing. So that things cannot be patented. Okay. An invention which claims anything obviously contrary to well-established natural rules. See, there are few laws in nature that has been, carved into the stones. Like for example, without an input, there cannot be an output. Energy changes its form from one to another. These things have been defined by the law of natures. But if you say that I have an instrument in which you do not have to provide any form of input, but you can continuously derive output out of it, lot of energy, it's not possible. It's actually restricting a lot of natural laws. It is not possible, so it cannot be patented. Okay, an invention which causes serious prejudice to human, animal, plant life. If you invent something that is poisonous to human, poisonous to animals or plants, it's causing them death or something of the form, you cannot patent it. But on the contrary, if you have found something that can help animals and plants or humans, for example, pesticides. We know what pesticides do, right? They kill the pest. But although pests being living, they are actually causing harm to plants and humans. If you design a pesticide, the chemical formulation can be patented and it is helpful to plants and humans, so it is beneficial. So you can do that. The mere discovery of a new form of known substance. See, here we are still talking about discovery of a new form. For example, carbon, diamond, graphite. We all know that carbon and graphite are isotopes of carbon. They are still formed in the earth. You are not discovering it. So it cannot be patented. But the concept of carbon nanotubes, huge technology, nanotechnology, right? It's all involving carbon. But still, it's an invention that can be included as invention. So now I think you understood the difference between discovery and invention. Okay, the next one is of lot of importance because that is where a lot of people are misguided. The mere arrangement or rearrangement or duplication of a known device. Now, see, whenever you start talking with innovators, they have been taught or maybe guided that though existing product ko combine karo, see, it's a new invention. Yeah, two existing product you combine into one, make it into one, and now it's a new technology. It's a patent. It's true. But to what extent? Understand. See, whenever you decide to combine two technology into one, you need to understand that they should work in interrelation to one another. Understand. There were shoes, there were wheels. People combined it to make it skate wheels. It is an invention. It's a great invention because without the shoes, the wheels cannot move, and without the wheels, the shoes cannot move. So they have to work together, and that is an innovative patent. But suppose you come up with a technology. Look, I'm sitting at my home and suddenly light goes off. It is very difficult to find a torch. So what I'll do is I have found an invention where I designed a chair and I'll stick the torch with the chair. So now if the light goes, I can directly pick the torch and I can walk around the room. It's a good technology. It's a good theory, but it's not a patent. Understand why? If I separate the chair from the torch, they can still work individually. There is no relation between the torch and the chair. अगर torch को मैं chair से अलग कर दूं, they'll still work separately, right? And they'll work good. So there is no relation. It's just a mere arrangement, rearrangement of existing product. It cannot be patented. But let us make it patentable. How? Now I have designed a chair with a torch. But how? Whenever I stand and sit from the chair, the difference in energy, difference in energy that is happening because of the pressure difference, that is converted into electric energy, and a battery is charged, which is used for the operation of the light bulb, the bulb in the torch. Apart from that, when I'm sitting on the chair and suddenly the light goes off and the room is dark, the torch will start auto glowing. So now what happens is the chair is made very smart. Now chair can analyze two things. Once the room is dark, and second, I'm sitting on the chair. If that is the case, only is when the torch will start to glow. And torch is getting the energy from the pressure difference created from me sitting and standing on the chair. So now both the components are interconnected. It's a patent, you can file for it. But until and unless they both have a relation with each other, you're just changing the position. Now there is a design in which the position of two products is A and B, A, B, C, and you decide, okay, let's interswap it, and you made it CAB, yeah, CBA. No, it's not allowed because you're just changing the position. By changing the position, there is no benefit, profit out of it. Then it cannot be patented. Okay. Next, a method of agriculture or horticulture. India is an agricultural based country. So here such things cannot be patented. Okay. Similarly, method of diagnosing, treatment, or surgical method in medicines, because it is used for human benefit to make the people live long, that things cannot be patented. But in both the sector, if you design an instrument, a method, a process which can help to do these things better, you can file for a patent. Like for example, if you talk about agriculture, you designed a new shovel, or you designed a new tractor, or small robotic system for monitoring. Such things can be patented. Similarly, talking about medicine, you have a small camera which can be gulped down. We do endoscopy and all such things. X-ray, MRI. These things are machineries. These things can be patented because these are instruments which are required in the medical field. Okay. Next, a mathematical or business method or a computer program, say algorithm. In India, business ideas like selling products online, for selling food online, these are business ideas. These things cannot be patented in India. It's not allowed. Apart from that, pure computer algorithms, like for example, you have developed a mobile application. Best example is WhatsApp, Hike, or an online selling app, which is your business idea. Such things cannot be patented until and unless it has a hardware system attached to it. Now, using a mobile application, if you're making a hardware product work, like for example, as I told you, I can use my mobile application to start and off the cup. Just an example, right? I want to start the stirring process using my mobile application, and there is an application that I've designed which is helping to work the hardware substance. Then I can file a patent. So there are certain loopholes which we can discuss. If you have such ideas, we can definitely discuss to make that idea patentable. Okay, an invention in which a traditional knowledge is used. If there is some idea in which traditional knowledge has been used, then you cannot file for a patent. Okay. Do you know in the world 90% ideas are applied on modifications? See, the misconception in patent is that सब नया होना चाहिए, एकदम नया product हो तो ही patent करा सकते हैं. No. If you look at any existing product and you find that you want to make 1% modification to the design or any of the feature, then you can apply for a patent. Okay. This is one of the very good examples. First, gramophone existed. Then came a time of cassette players, CD players, Walkman, iPods. Now your phone can do the same. All these instruments were used to listen to music. But somebody thought that if I want to walk and listen to music, I cannot carry that heavy gramophone in my hand and walk on the street. So somebody came up with the idea of Walkman, and everything that is customized around you. Maybe it's your mobile phones, right? First, people used to use landlines. They just had a wire and you can just sit in your room and talk. Then came a time of cordless phones. You can actually take it around the house and talk. Then came a time of mobile phones. Okay. I think all the kids from the 90s have used it. Then there came time of smartphones, and now still everything that you can see that is being improved into your mobile phones is being patented. Okay. While talking about patent, we need to understand that very small things. Oh, sorry, I just missed a scrap. Okay, many of you might be thinking that, how do I know that my product can be sold into the market? When will I have a market reach? Right, there are a lot of questions related to this which circles around you. Understand. Whenever this is a very good example which can help you to understand that every product will reach the market with the right approach. There was a chemical engineer called Spencer Silver. He was designing a glue, a gum, using which he wanted to make a strong glue, using which he could stick any of the hard substances on this earth, like wood or plastic or steel or anything like that. But after his research was completed, he found that his glue, although had the same chemical combination, but it was a weak glue, and he couldn't actually stick anything like wood or steel or anything to it. But because he was an engineer, a scientist at heart, he still decided to file a patent on the chemical combination. One day, he was visiting, after like 4 years down the lane, he was visiting his friend Arthur. And Arthur was an interesting person. What he was doing was, he was a bookworm. So he used to write notes, and he was using a stapler to attach that notes to every book. So Spencer was like, why are you trying to spoil your book? You know, the stapler can dig holes into your very expensive book. Arthur was like, look, people take my book to read. They lose the note, and it is very bad for me to read through the entire book to create the same notes that I had created. So I decided to create a permanent solution. It just clicked Spencer that, Arthur, I have a gum, I have a glue, which I created 4 years back, but till now I did not find a worth to it. Do you mind if I try it on your notes? Arthur was a very good friend of Spencer. He was like, yeah, please go on. He used the same glue on the notes, and he stuck that note to the book. When he opened the book, the page was attached because it was glue, so he expected that. But the best part was when he decided to pull that note out of the book, it came very smoothly out of the page without leaving any mark or tearing or anything. We all have been using sticky notes since long. These two geniuses came up with the idea of sticky notes. They launched that product under the name Post-it brand, which is still available in the market. If you visit DMart or if you Google online or on Amazon, you can find their product online. So imagine a weak gum which had no value, no credibility, nothing, and Spencer didn't know what to do. He turned that into $1 million business per year, because every idea will see the market once it has been accepted and the real worth has been identified. So as entrepreneurs, you just need to find the real worth of its utilization, and then you can make it into a huge selling point. Okay, so as I was telling, very small things can be patented. In the year 2000, a person patented a method of swinging. What he said was, see, the regular method of swinging, people swing using into 90-degree angle. It is boring. I have a method and a product using which we can swing on 45-degree angles, and it is much more fun. He has a granted patent in the year 2002 for the concept of swinging. Very small things that you touch, even the safety pins, the clips, the stapler pins, everything that you touch has been applied for have been applied for patents. Okay, so this is just to understand that every big company, whenever decides to file for a patent or they invent something, they file it under utility and design both parallelly. Here, this is a very good concept just to understand the perspective of how to find an innovative project. Now, what Apple was, the company Apple is very innovative. They were sitting together and they started talking that we all have been talking about foldable mobile phones, right? But the patent of foldable mobile phones and the screen is with different company. Like, for example, the foldable mobile phone screen patent is with the company LG. So what should we do to be in the market when the foldable phone comes? A person came up with a genius idea. He said, let us manufacture foldable mobile covers. Now, this is a regular mobile cover. Now, if I decide to bend it, it won't bend. Like, imagine the foldable mobile phones can bend completely, front and back. But the mobile covers which are available today, they won't bend if they are of plastic. But if they are of rubber, imagine the rubber phone covers, when they bend, they will bulge out from the side. If you have a mobile cover, you can try doing that. If you bend it, it will bulge out from the side. So imagine you have a mobile worth 1 lakh or 1,50,000 in your hand. And when you decide to bend it, it has a bad mobile cover. So Apple came up with the design of a mobile cover which will flexibly fit to the every side of the phone, protect the phone. Along with that, it can flex as per the phone, keeping the shape of the phone. So when they designed a phone cover with its elasticity property and all such things, they filed a utility patent in the making of the flexible mobile covers. And when they designed the same mobile cover for their own phone sets, they filed a design patent on it. This is how much data is required to file for a design patent. The best part about design patent is that it can be granted within 4 weeks to 27 weeks. Sorry, it takes around 4 weeks to 16 weeks. It is possible to get a design patent granted within 4 months also. We have record of 4 weeks also. So that is possible. So file for a design and utility parallelly if you have an innovative concept. Okay. Talking about Apple, a single Apple phone has 200 patents. See, Apple is not just expensive because they are a huge brand, but they put a lot of hard work into making a single piece. Everything that you touch in an Apple phone is patented. Okay. And talking about patents, see, this is a very big misconception that patent can only be filed by great researchers, great innovators, or I am student, or maybe I'm just a starting entrepreneur. It's all false, because India's youngest patent holder is Rideshwar Bhatti, who filed his first patent at the age of 9. Now he's around 14 or 15 years of age and still has 10 patents with him. So it is possible. There is no age gap. There is no age required, no qualification required. It's just an innovative idea with which you can file for a patent. Okay, so by understanding the valuation of patent, I already informed you that you do not require a physical prototype or a product to file for a patent. Vernetex is a legendary example of it. Vernetex is a company in US. They have 15 employees. What the group of people do is that they sit in an office, a huge, gigantic office, which is worth $5,000 per month of rent. They sit in that office and they think of innovative ideas in the upcoming field. They file for a patent and license the idea to multinational companies like Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and earn money out of it. Just licensing money. So you just need a good patentable idea in the upcoming field, and you can actually sit and earn at your home. This is a huge company. There are multiple companies like this. You can check out a company called Sipco. They have a 100 patent portfolio with not a single product. Can actually check out these companies. They are huge examples of entrepreneurship in USA. Okay. These are two Indian engineers who developed a feature into iOS platform and patented it in India and USA. And due to their luck, Apple iOS 6 has had the same features in it. They claimed damage fees of 5,600 crores from Apple as damages, and Apple was liable to pay it. Imagine you were working on somebody else's platform, discovered something, just filed a patent, let them manufacture, market it, and then you go and stand in front of them, claim a huge amount that you are liable to get paid for. It is possible only if you have patent document. Okay. Now, this is just a quick slide just to make you understand that if you are a student, if you are a scholar, a researcher, IPR filing, how can IPR filing benefit you? See, these are few of the benefits that can be provided to you. International recognition. See, patent filing may be regional based, but only one person can file a patent in the entire world. Idea ek hi baar disclose ho sakta hai. So you can have an international recognition for your invention. Research fundings, industrial job opportunities. If you're looking for a job and your profile shows patents and copyrights, it means you have an out of the box mindset, innovative mindset, and every company is looking to develop something and a person who can develop such things. So you will be the first person to be approached. Okay, industrial avenues, royalty income, entrepreneurship. There are huge government schemes for Startup India, and the best way to get recognized into startup is having a patent in your portfolio. The entire procedure gets much simpler if you have a patent in your profile. Okay, if you are a professor, you're building the future of tomorrow of the world. Similarly, you can benefit from patent filing, because now the UGC promotional criteria have changed from paper publications to patent granted and published. So you can have lot many patents which can help you in better job opportunities, better promotions, better industrial avenues, consultancy, job profile improvement, and all these things can be done with patent and copyright in your portfolio. Okay, as an institute, we all are quite aware that accreditations, every accreditations that happens need it is looked on at multiple parameters: infrastructure, student presence, faculty education, lot many things. But the best part of this where still colleges are unable to compete is IPR, and patent, copyright, and trademark can actually help in better accreditations. Similarly, talking about industries, if you want to stand ahead in the competitive market, the one product that you have patent rights on can help you to stand in front. Okay, as an Indian, it is your responsibility to file a patent, because we, although being a population of 135 crores and growing, we still stand seventh with only 50,000 patent a year. And China, can you see, they are ranking one with 15,42,000 patent a year in a single year. And after that, we have USA with 5,94,000. So US and China actually has a gap of 10 lakh patent. So China is not just threatening world with all the things they are doing, they are actually competing with their IPR. They are creating a bulk portfolio with which, if they come into the market, they can stop others from manufacturing it. And that is the power of IPR. So it is economically important that your country has a good IPR count. And if you want to come into the competition, stand out from others, IPR is the only factor which can help you. Okay, so as a team, how we will be helping you is that once you approach our team, we will be signing an NDA before we listen to your idea, because signing a confidentiality agreement is important so that your idea is secured. After that, we'll be verifying your problem to identify whether it is patentable or not. If it is patentable, we'll be directly helping you with the drafting and filing and the registration. If it is not, we have an expert panel who can actually help you to modify your ideas, to improve your ideas, stand out from the existing ideas, and file for a patent. That is the capability of our company. We are not only IPR filers. We do not just help you in filing and granting. We can actually help you in enhancement, improvement, and getting an application granted. That is the power that our company holds, with experts who can actually help you, guide you in all the ideas that you're creating. Okay. So we have arranged for few Q&A. We'll just go through them quickly and then we'll move on to your doubts and queries. Okay, so can an invention be patented after publication or display in public? No, no, no. Please be very careful. If you have an innovative idea, please do not publish it on any of the platforms, because government denies that once your application is online in any form, if it is published in any form, paper, journal, blogs, vlogs, anyway, it cannot be patented. So please do not publish your work. First file for a patent and then do whatever you want from the next day. Okay. In which language can application for patent be filed in India? There are two languages that are allowed, English and Hindi. If you are not well versed in English, you can even write your entire idea in Hindi. But in pure Hindi language, you cannot translate English into Hindi language and write it. That is not allowed. Okay. Is there any jurisdiction for filing a patent? Yes. There are 4 offices in India: Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Delhi. So there are 4 offices, and every state is divided into different jurisdiction. Suppose you are from the state of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, then your jurisdiction will fall under Maharashtra, that is Mumbai office, which you have at Antop Hill. If you are from UP, Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, the entire filing will happen in the Delhi office. So yes, there are 4 offices. You can just Google and check. If you are, suppose you're living in Mumbai, but your address is of UP, your jurisdiction will be Delhi. So please, your residential address that you're mentioning is your jurisdiction, not the place that you're currently living. So please be very careful. These are minor mistakes that we have seen in multiple applications. So we are just informing you for the same. What is the term of patent? If you're filing for a utility patent, it's for the term of 20 years. If you're filing a design patent, it is for 15 years. But for certain patents like pharmaceuticals, the term can be decreased down to 5 years also, because it is medicine for human benefit, or it can even be given out for free. Like at present, the corona medicines are free of cost. It does not have a royalty income because it cannot be included in the IPR law. It's for the human benefit. Such things can happen. Okay. Does Indian patent give protection worldwide? There is no international patent. There is no country which can provide you rights all over the world. Whenever you apply in a country, the patent rights are protected in that country alone. Like suppose you're filing it in India, your you have the right to sell, manufacture, stop others from selling or manufacturing only in India. If I decide to manufacture a product in US and sell in Sri Lanka, you cannot come and stop me until and unless you have a patent in USA and Sri Lanka. You have to file it there also. Okay. Does the patent office keep information of the invention secret? Yes, but only for the term of 18 months. That is before publication. After the 18 months period is over, they will publish the data online so that others can actually validate before they decide to use or misuse your work. Okay. So I hope patent, copyright, trademark is quite clear. If you have any question, we can address it one by one. And otherwise, our contact details are online. You can anytime approach us, or you can even approach Suryakant sir. We both have been working. We'll both will be working together to address all your queries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable session, and definitely, like all the our students and faculty, those who are joining us through the YouTube, having the overall idea what is the patent, what is the trademark, and how it is going on. Okay, so few questions we are received from the YouTube live chat. So first question is from Mr. Rupesh Chandrasen Londe sir from the Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune. He is asking that logos and taglines will fall in which category?
Okay. If you're filing, if you're filing for a logo or tagline, it will fall into trademark. Obviously, you'll be filing for trademark. If you're talking about the subcategories in trademark, there are three. One is wordmark, second is device, and third is label. So if you decide to file for a logo mark, it will fall under device mark. And if you're filing for a tagline, it will fall under wordmark. Okay. Thank you.
The next question is from Rock D'Souza. He's asking like how to protect any business model idea with the help of IPR.
Okay. See, as we were going through the patent filing. In India, a business model cannot be patented. If you have a structure of selling a product, or a business, how to create a business empire, how to perform some action for the business performance, it cannot be patented in India. The only thing you can do is you can actually file a copyright and protect the content and the expression of the work, but the idea protection is not assured in India. You can file for a similar patent in USA for sure, because there the business ideas are protected, but in India it is not possible, because as per the government law there is an entire section 3 of non-patentability, and they have clearly mentioned the word business methods cannot be patented. So I'm sorry, I cannot help you with that.
Okay, like in the continuously, he write that he heard in European country, one person protected his business idea of underwater hotel business. So likewise, is it possible in India to protect business idea which could be unique?
See, that is what I told you. Every country have their own IPR terms, and European countries actually allow software patents, business models, and such things. So here in India, at present, these things are not possible because of the terms and conditions. But European countries have much more liberal IPR laws because they have been in this sector for much long than India has been. So here in India, it is not possible, but in USA, it is definitely possible.
Okay, next question is from Sunavne Praveen. Like, what is the difference between utility and design?
Okay. Sir, I don't know. I think you entered the session maybe a bit late, but
Yes.
just to make you understand, utility patent helps to protect the component, working, making, principles, every feature of a product. When you want to describe a product, that how it has been made, how it is working, the principles involved, the justification, where you want to describe how how, why, the making and background, that is where the utility patent, that is called the process patent, it comes into picture. But when you decide to file only for the design structure, that means the working, the utilization is the same. Like I gave the example of a cup, right? The using, the working, and the mechanism is same. Only the structure is getting changed. Now, suppose I design a grip for this cup, then I'll put, because only the structure is getting changed, I'll file it under a design patent. But if I decide to provide some additional feature to this cup, I'll file it under utility. So if there is a process and method involved, I'll file for a utility. If only the design structure is getting changed, I'll file for a design patent.
Okay, again one question from Rupesh Lomde sir from the Bharati Vidyapit, Pune. Like, for how many years literary works can be protected?
Okay. See, as per the government rule here in India, it is 60 years after the death of the author. Even for literature work, for songs, music, dramatics, paintings, posters, everything. It is 60 years after the death of the author. That means if you have written a novel, if you have written a book, if you have written a shairi or a song or something, till the author is alive, and after 60 years of his death, the work will still be in picture. There was an example. Amitabh Bachchan ji, actually his father was a great writer. So it's some of the person during a conference decided to say one of his shairi on screen, and he actually stopped that person and told that you are liable to pay me so much, like a very small amount, because the work is still copyright of my father and you cannot use it for your own benefit. So yes, it is possible. 60 years after the death of the author, the work will still be live and private for the person only to use.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for these like valuable sessions, and you perfectly like address the students and faculty members both. Like, many of the students are having the confusion about the what is the copyright and how it works. And thank you for answering all the questions, whatever the asked by the our YouTube YouTube members and YouTube family, or the from the faculty members. Uh, Now I requesting to Dhruv sir, like, can you please address for a few minutes to the students, with the students, regarding the other session?
I'll mute. Sir.
Yeah, ma'am. थैंक यू सो मच. एक्चुअली मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए था, पर ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन है नहीं, तो अगर कोई ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आंसर है नहीं तो शायद टाइम भी अब ख़त्म हो गया है, तो कंप्लीट करते हैं मैम.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, एग्जैक्टली राइट. जो भी क्वेश्चंस थे वो मैंने मुझे मैम से ही पूछ लिए, क्योंकि लाइक पेटेंट के रिगार्डिंग उन्होंने पूरा 2 सेशन लिया, उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही मुझे क्वेश्चंस आए थे, तो मैंने उनसे पूछ लिया. अगर आप कुछ स्टार्टअप रिलेटेड या मैनेजमेंट रिलेटेड थोड़ा सा पेटेंट या आईपीआर कैसे हम वो करते हैं, अगर थोड़ा सा अगर आप बता सके तो.
Ma'am, is Dhruv sir audible to you?
Yes, yes, he is audible to me.
Okay. Ma'am, actually he has been here for the Q&A session, but I think there are no much further questions. So I think we are thankful for to you and Suryakant sir for providing us with this platform, and I hope we'll be soon contacting each other for the further IPR filings.
Definitely, definitely, ma'am, definitely. We are also thankful to you and Dhruv sirs, also Suryakant sir, for collaborating with us for this particular session, and happy to hear you. Many of the questions are also having some like confusions regarding the patents and copyright. So now it's clear, everything is clear to me as well. So definitely it's clear to all our faculty and all the students, those who like exactly and want to like file a patent or file a copyrights to you. So thank you so much for these valuable sessions, and definitely we'll connect in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this one note for the registered students, those who are connected with us on YouTube. So this is the update for them. Like those who have registered, like as we told, like 100 of the first 100 registration students will get the certificate from us. So students, you will get your certificate within a 2 days, in a working days, and like the certificates from us will provide you within a 2 days. So thank you so much for this valuable session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Suryakant sir.